I sort of need to start getting everybody to change their perspective on what video and video ads are supposed to be doing for their businesses and why they're not doing the things that they expect them to be doing, right? You launch one, you're refreshing to see how many views it has, you're refreshing your email to see how many leads you're getting in, and nothing's happening and it's falling flat. And I get it, you're frustrated and you spent a lot of money on those productions and they're just not doing what you need them to be doing. So here's 5 reasons why your video ads are actually repulsing your buyers. And these are things that you can start implementing now, that you can start seeing real results and real difference in how you start approaching video going forward and how you're gonna start using it as the tool it's intended to be. Think about it like this. Remember back in the day, there was those ads for like the teeth whitening strips, and it was like, if you're not whitening, you're yellowing. I want you to start thinking about your video content just like that. So if you're not launching this video content and getting back your intended goal for that launch, whether it's revenue or the right people being interested in your brand, maybe you're raising funds for a startup, whatever that may be, whatever that success looks like for you. If those videos are not doing that for you right now, they're actually doing the opposite in that you're yellowing. That means that you're actually hurting your position in the market because you're deterring those people away from you. So not only are you actually not making the sale, but then you're also telling your potential buyers, these perfect ideal people potentially, that you're not the brand for them. Because the second they've decided that they can't relate to you, your brand, your service, they're out. And it takes a lot of work to get those people back around. Okay, so look at your video ads right now, or anything that you're running on your website, anything that is video content at all, anywhere. If your videos are going out into the world and the perfect client, let's say like huge whale, this one person could bring in so much revenue for you, and they see that video and you meet them with this dead fish, wet, slimy handshake of weakness. You know what I'm talking about? The ones where you meet someone and there's like, hi. Yeah, no. We don't want any of that. We can't have that. That person is not only not going to buy from you, that person is now repulsed by your brand, because video is the single most highest ROI piece of marketing material you can put out into the universe. Those are your soldiers. That's your sales team. Those videos are your sales team, and you have them out marching around, shaking hands, kissing babies, whatever it is that you're trying to do, your video content should be doing that for you. So go back and look at those things. Make sure that when you have that first initial introduction to your potential buyers, that it isn't that dead fish handshake. Okay, number 2, they're an afterthought. I get it. You're a C-suite executive, you're a big marketing agency, you've got all of these things working, and you guys are at this meeting and you're dealing with like, okay, a website refresh, I'm doing a rebrand. Someone raises their hand and goes, hey, you know what we should do is like a video. This happened to me for years and years of being in this industry, where I, as the video person, would be brought in after the marketing and the C-suite executives and the sales teams and everybody have like compiled the whole strategy of what they're gonna do. And then I get called in and they say, you know, we're gonna do this video. We want it to be this is how we're doing it. And it's like, okay, you know, sure. If you're gonna be implementing video, and you should, it has to be brought in the beginning of these campaign launches, in the beginning of these rebrands, in the beginning of opening these businesses. And then you have somebody that's there that is a specialist in that field, that is teaming up with these marketing agencies. That's another thing. A lot of times we keep marketing and video advertising and even our sales team, and we're working with them separately. Well, what does that do? That starts bringing things out of the woodwork. Everybody's trying to do what they think is right. Like, no. Stick marketing and your video advertising team in a room and let them hash it out, because at the end of the day, what you're gonna get is all the boats pointing in the right direction, We're all after the same outcome. We both have matching strategies so that when I release this video for TV, they've got mailers going out that match the same messaging to the same people. So that's when you get the fun stuff, right? That's when you see an ad on TV and you're like, you forget it's an ad and you're like, I love this. And then you get this cool mailer with like this great information that's fun, that is useful to you. And now you're starting to build this relationship with your potential buyers. That's what's going to create these long-term buyer brand relationships. Put video in first. They're not an afterthought. You got to put video in with your marketing right then and there. Don't bring them in later and just be like, this is what we're doing, whatever, I'll cut the check. If you want your videos to start being effective for you, you have to bring them in from the beginning. What I see a lot of times is like, you know, video will end up in like an e-blast, right? And so you click the link in an e-blast and you're taken to YouTube to watch this video for this new brand because they're doing this new launch and everything. Sounds great, right? No, it's like the worst thing you can do. What is YouTube? YouTube is a black hole where your prospects go out into the desert to die. YouTube is a monster company, and their entire goal is to keep people on YouTube, right? So you're sending me, a potential buyer, to watch your video on YouTube, but YouTube is built to keep me there and keep me watching minutes of video on their app. You know, you're like, bye, see you later. One of the ways in which they keep people sucked into that app is once you watch a video, you get all of these suggested videos. If that potential client goes to your video and they see these suggestions popping up, if their algorithm is just right, you know what's gonna pop up on suggested videos for them? Your competitors. Okay? Don't send them to YouTube because you could be inadvertently advertising for your competitor. And so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start owning our content. We're gonna own our content. And you're gonna put it on a landing page on your website. So you're saying, hey, Mr. Prospect, great, watch my video. And you will be on my landing page. On that landing page will be this really cool video and lots of cool information about what we're doing for you. And here's how you can call to action, right? So very, very, very simple setup. Don't send people away from you. Use your videos like part of the sales funnel, okay? Everybody knows about that, right? They need to be bringing people further into that sales funnel. And if they're not doing that, they're repelling people away from the sales funnel. I do get a lot of people come to me that say, my video isn't working. I spent $150,000 on this campaign and it didn't do anything for me, and I'm so mad at the video production people for, you know, not knowing any better. Who wrote the concept for that? Oh, well, you know, they presented us with some concepts, but we're in the creative. We went to school for marketing, and that's kind of what we do. So we ended up doing what we wanted to do in terms of creative and scripting. We worked together. No, you didn't. No, you bowled over that creative department because you're the one writing the check, and they can't say no to you. They can try, but at the end of the day, they have to feed their families too. And so if you push and push and push your own creative agenda, they're gonna eventually say, okay, like I'll produce that for you, that's fine. I need the check, let's move on, right? You are only hurting yourself when you do that. Mismanagement of the engagement from booking to launch that needed to be worked out a little bit differently to get you the product that was going to do what it needed to do in the first place. Depending on the market that you're going after and the outcomes that you're trying to achieve, if that content doesn't make your ideal buyer feel something, like a real emotion, like happy, sad, tears and laughter in the same video is like, motivate them. Something to raise their heart rates in some way to make them feel something. And that's what art is, right? Art is intended to make the viewer feel something. The second that people can recognize it's an ad, they're out. You have to be so good at creative that that potential buyer forgets that they're watching an advertisement. They forget. Who is really good at creating videos like that? Is it you, Mr. CEO? No, it's not. And I see this time and time and time again. The C-suite executives are really, really, really good at what they do for their brand. I get it, you like creative, it's fun for you. But the reality of the situation is that it's so much more than that. So much more. There's layers upon layers upon layers of what your video production team, if you're with a good one, is putting in to reach out to those potential buyers, and they're luring them in. There's more going on, and there's more to it that the video strategy team is actually putting into place in that creative. When you're presented concepts from your video team, and you immediately go, I get it, like, I don't like it, but like, you know, it's not about what you like. We're not making these concepts for you. We're making these concepts and building out these videos for your ideal clientele. It's an easy pit to fall in. It happens all the time. And what ends up happening is if you're working with, a video team that isn't, going to tell you like it is, they'll end up doing it, and that's why your videos aren't as effective, because they're trying to make you happy. You're going to make approvals before and budgetary approvals. Sure, you can be on set. Absolutely, this is fun. Like, we're having a blast, 100%. But you're not driving, I'm driving. I'm driving because I'm going to get us there. A lot of times I find it was more of, we need to start thinking about our prospective clients differently, putting them first and not what we like and what we want to see first. The call to action is basically the information that you're trying to provide in the action steps that you want that prospect to do next to engage with you. Maybe you want them to buy something, maybe you want them to set up a meeting. A lot of times what we tend to do is say like, great, here's all the information that we need to put on the end of this video. It needs to be our phone number and our address, Instagram handle, my mom's phone number. Just in case they want to come over for dinner, we'll put my uncle's address. This offer that we have, like 5% off of blah, 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 blah. It's too much. Why are you putting all of that in your video like that? You don't have to crowd that. That starts to look really busy, and then that's when people are like, oh, this is like way too much, it's an ad, and it starts to like gross people out, right? People laugh at me all the time. I don't really like business cards, but I do a lot of networking events, and my business card literally has my logo on it, my name, and my email address. I get business cards all the time that have all the phone numbers and all the things and the address and the blah, blah, blah. And it depends on the type of business and why you would do that. And so there's that to consider as well. Like, everybody knows if it's Anna at barehandsmedia.com, barehandsmedia.com is my website. It's that simple. The right messaging, the right feel, the right vibe, the right strategy and placement is gonna get these people coming to you, and you don't have to shove it in their face with all the different ways in which they can get in touch with you. I want you to start thinking about your videos as a sales team. You are putting on the battlefield so they can hit the right clients at the right time and have the right message. Like, that's what these videos are meant to be doing. We've got to start understanding the value of what video can bring if it's strategized and implemented correctly. And I'll leave you with a couple of things. So if you were in a band and you're trying to get signed, you really want to like tour the world, and would you perform any differently in a room in a neighborhood bar with like 20 people in it? Would you perform any differently there than you would in a fully packed stadium? No, you perform the same, you go all out. Because why? Because you don't know who's gonna be in that room. Like, that could be a major label scout sitting at the bar looking for the next big thing. It doesn't matter how small the video project is, you think it is. You never know who's in that room and who you're extending that handshake to. And it could be a life-changing introduction that came from something as small, as a Google ad. We're gonna stop deterring clients away from us. We're gonna stop repulsing our buyers, and we're gonna instead start engaging with them, and we're gonna start pulling them in. We're gonna start pulling them into that sales funnel, right? And that's really the name of the game, and that's how video can start to work for you. I hope a little bit of this has helped guide you in the right direction. Email me if you have any questions, comments. I'd love to hear your story and what you have going on in your businesses, how I can help. All right, cheers, y'all.